If you find yourself Googling for business ideas, scrolling TikToks, maybe you've bought a course, but you can't settle on that business idea that feels quite right, this video is for you. Because the problem usually isn't a lack of ideas. It's that we shut down the good ones just too fast. We second guess them, we tell ourselves we're not ready, or we think that they just won't fit in with the life that we want. And so before those ideas have a chance to grow into something that's meaningful to us, we've already moved on to the next one. So that's why in these early stages, clarity matters more than creativity. Instead of chasing the perfect idea, we're going to zoom into what actually matters to you. Because when you start with you, the right ideas get clearer and the wrong ones stop getting in the way. Hi, I'm Nicole, and in these videos, there's no hustle, there's no hype, there's just doable steps to help you action your dreams. This is part one of a series that takes you from having no idea at all through to when you have a business that's launched in the real world and is making you money. A month from now, you could have your first paying customers, and that is far more achievable than you realize. If that sounds like your kind of support, please hit subscribe and let's get into it. First, we need to figure out what kind of business is right for you. So what really makes a business work? You've probably heard the advice, just find a problem and solve it. And that's true, that's part of what makes a business successful. But there's actually three things that truly makes a business work. The first is the idea itself, the second is the timing, and the third is the person. Today we're focusing on that third one, because more often than not, it's not a lack of ideas or a lack of creativity, it's that what you need isn't aligned to those, and that's what's holding you back. So let's talk about what's actually getting in the way, because there's a few key things that might be keeping you stuck. So the first one is just overthinking. You just shut down ideas before they can grow. The next is perfectionism or high standards. You want your idea to be unique and amazing, and if it doesn't feel like it is, you don't even start. Another common theme is imposter syndrome. Maybe you don't feel like you're expert enough or you're good enough to actually follow through on an idea that sounds really amazing to you. Then you've got burnout, so you're too tired to dream big, or the thought of doing it is just exhausting. On a similar theme is safety seeking, where you want to know that your idea is going to work before you're willing to take steps towards it. All of that is really normal feelings, but the end result is that every time you get a spark of idea or a little bit of excitement, you shut it down before it ever gets the chance to grow into something real. We're going to try something different today. So I've created this worksheet and I'll pop the link in the description. So you can download it or you can just follow along with pen and paper. We're going to walk through 3 simple questions to help you find a North Star for a business that actually fits you. Forget about the perfect plan, forget about the perfect idea. You just need a starting point without all of the noise and the filters and the second guessing that usually gets in the way. So let's dive into step 1. Step 1 is knowing what you want to get out of this. So not all businesses involve quitting a job or eating ramen noodles for 3 years until you make $1 million. There is a real spectrum of businesses. They start with something as simple as a hobby you just earn a little bit on, or maybe a side hustle that you can just drop and go in your spare time. Then you've got what's called lifestyle businesses, which essentially replace your job, but on your own terms. Then as you move up the scale, you move into the growth businesses. So these are the ones that you expect to grow. Maybe you start to look at hiring people, having operations at a greater scale. And when you get to the far end of the spectrum, you start to look at things like startups. They have big funding, usually with investors, and really big goals, and you dedicate all of your time and energy into seeing that dream come to life. So where do you want to sit on that scale? Because there's no right or wrong answer here. And honestly, at different points in your life, you're going to be sitting on different parts of the scale, depending on your responsibilities and just where your heart's at. So write down where you want to be. The next one is, how do you want to feel in this business? Just pick 3 to 5 words, whatever pops into your head first. No one's looking at this except you, so write down what is true to you. Write down the pure, unfiltered, how do you want to feel when you work in your business every day? Alright, now the third column is, what do you bring to the table? What can you bring to this business that gives it credibility and that uniqueness that is you? Now that can be things in your career, but it can also be your lived experience, and it can be the things that you're passionate about. If you're getting stuck on this one, there's some questions you might ask yourself. For example, What do people ask you for help with? Is there something that you find really easy that other people might find hard? What do you enjoy learning or talking about? And what do you always end up doing, whether that be at home or at work or in the community? Is there any skills that you bring to everything that you do? They don't need to be formal skills or qualifications. They can even be things like curiosity or calmness, your taste, your sensitivity, your lived experience, the things that make you, you. And you know what? Even if it's something as simple as, I make a really good cup of tea, that is a starting point. It tells us something about you that now we know that lights you up. That's something that you enjoy. That's something that you can do. Write down 3 to 5 things that either you're good at or that you're drawn to. All right, so now that we have our 3 columns, let's put it together into a sentence. So let's start off with, I want to start a, and then you put your business type in. That makes me feel, and then you pick 1 or 2 of the emotions that you listed. And that uses my skills in, and then you put a couple of skills in there that you've already listed off. So you're going to end up with a statement that's along the lines of, I want to build a lifestyle business that makes me feel fulfilled and excited using my skills in organization and compassion. Have a look at that statement and think about if you were doing that in 1 month's time. Does that feel right? Does that feel exciting? Does that feel aligned to what you want? If so, great. That is your North Star. We're going to start with that, and we're going to find you an idea that aligns with those values. Now, at this point, some of you are probably looking at that and thinking, well, this is great, but it's not a business idea. I can't make a business out of this. And you're absolutely right. It's not ready yet. So that's where we're going in the next video, is to actually connect this North Star of what you want with a business idea that will deliver. All right, so just some final thoughts before we wrap up. So just remember that you don't need a fully formed idea to get started. You just need a thread to follow, and we've done that in this video. If this has helped you a little bit, or you're keen to hear the next video, please hit like and subscribe. This is a new channel, so every single subscriber really makes a difference and keeps me motivated to keep making more of these videos. And if there's a topic you'd like me to cover next, please jot it below in the comments, or even just say hello, just so that I know I'm not just shouting into the void. All right, I'll see you in the next one.